So Disney Channel has finally aired their first two episodes of their new series, Star Wars Rebels. What had me excited about this show was that this takes place during a more identifiable time period for me. I'm an old Star Wars fan, and this show takes place 5 years before Star Wars A New Hope. First off, I really love the art in this show. It is really well done. The drawings, the characters, and I love seeing the old Star Destroyers in the show. I even like that the creators of the show went back and used some of old Ralph McQuarrie's concept drawings for their characters in the show. Like Chopper, the little android, he's based on the initial drawings they had of R2D2. And like the other crew member, Zeb's based on one of the initial drawings of Chewbacca. So, I mean, it's really cool that they incorporated some of the old Star Wars elements. I think the show got off on a decent footing. Basically, did what the initial pilot episodes need to do. It introduced the characters, kind of set up scenarios, and got everybody moving along the right path. As typical pilots, they shove way too much into one episode and they don't let it breathe, which I suspect they'll do that in future episodes, but it was a little bit too much. Because I didn't need the whole, I'm the Jedi, and now I found my Padawan, and now I'm going to train you. And one thing I'm real curious about on this is, okay, here we go again. I think they're going to run into the same issues that Clone Wars did, is what are they going to do with these Jedis? You know, when the New Hope hits, Ben Kenobi, he's represented as the last Jedi until Luke Skywalker comes along. So what happens to Ezra and what happens to Canon? I mean, we don't know. I mean, you assume they're gone by the time, A New Hope hits. That's kind of like they did that in the Clone Wars, and you always kind of wondered how they were going to work it out. They may run into the same problem on this one. Probably the strongest criticism I have, which always bugs me about cartoons, is basically they set up stuff for straight convenience. For example, towards the end of the show, our rebels go back, hit the Star Destroyer, and they just drive up to this thing, go straight into the air dock, and boom, they're in. Come on. But this thing's not going to be able to sneak in, park in the docking bay. Rebels get out and go rescue their friend. I mean, that's an entire episode itself. But, we got to do it quick. We got to rescue Ezra. Okay, that was neat. But, the other thing that really kind of bugged me with the show was Ezra. I don't really like his personality. It's kind of the kind of loner, the kid that's raised himself. He needs a monochrome of humanity, and I know they'll develop it, but he just kind of turned me off. I do like the Rebels on the Ghost. I do like their characters. I think they're going to be very, very interesting as the show goes on, and they get a little bit more time to work with them. And I'll tell you, the last thing really bugged me, I know it's a small thing, was the design of the Wookiees. I don't know, they just look like wet dogs. But I did like seeing the Wookiees. Wookiees have always been some of my favorite creatures in Star Wars. And yeah, okay, rescuing the baby Wookiee, okay. That's a little bit much. But they got to get Ezra. They have to show him that he needs to care about more things than himself. I get it. I totally get it. But as a first show, I thought it was very good. It looks like the creators of the show learned a lot from the Clone Wars, and they didn't have as rough start as they did at the Clone Wars. This show is a lot more interesting, and this show has really got me excited. I'm going to give it the rest of the season, and we'll see where we go.